Okay, good morning everyone. Back with me. I will be your host today, and my name is Intan. And here I will introduce with all of you Prof. Ernie Melwan. Hi, Prof. How are you?
I'm good. How about you?
Alhamdulillah, great. So, how's your fasting, Prof?
So far it's okay.
Great. So, Prof. Ernie, can you please share with us your daily activities?
I'm currently a physician. I'm an infectious disease doctor. I work at the Cipto Hospital and also teach students at the Faculty of Medicine, University of Indonesia.
Wow, such a great daily activities, Professor. I know you're so busy, so thank you so much for having a great time with us. So actually, I will ask you several questions about our themes. Lab saves lives. So how can you please share with us the experience as a physician first? Is there any lab testing result that you usually use every day to manage your patients' healthcare management? Can you please share with us?
Yes, of course, Intan. So for lab testing, in particular for infectious disease, the example is malaria. For example, malaria need definitely a lab result to be determined as this is malaria infection, because patient can come with fever and unspecific signs and symptoms that might due to other illnesses. So we cannot deliver anti-malaria treatment except that have the result of lab test, either the rapid test or the microscopy test. And this is based on the national guideline in Indonesia. So no clinical malaria, but need to be the malaria that have been tested for the lab microscopy and RDT.
Can you please explore more what kind of laboratory testing that we usually do or physicians do to diagnose patients with malaria?
Yeah, this is very important in Indonesia because, like I already mentioned, we are not allowed to treat malaria patient only based on the clinical sign and symptoms. So first, we really need to be sure that this is malaria by performing the rapid diagnostic testing. So with this, we are not delaying any treatment, but all RDT tests needs to be confirmed with the microscopy to know how much is the parasite and what kind of parasite infected the patient. For example, whether it's Plasmodium falciparum or Plasmodium vivax, so then treatment can be delivered. And beside of that, we also need to perform the lab test to determine whether this is uncomplicated malaria infection or this is severe malaria by performing the hemoglobin tested to see any anemia or any kidney problem by testing the creatinine level, bilirubin level, lactate in the blood. But this is for the sophisticated facility. But for the initial tested, at least complete blood count and routine urinalysis need to be tested to determine the severity of the infection.
Oh, such a great complex laboratory testing, right, Prof. Ernie? So because Indonesia is really wide, is a large country, is it widely available everywhere, the malaria laboratory test?
At the moment, for the whole country, the endemicity is not the same. So the government focus on the highly endemicity with the high parasite annual index report, such as in eastern part of Indonesia.
Mhm.
So even in the primary healthcare, such as Puskesmas, we do have RDT and the lab persons already trained for the microscopy diagnostics. So they are
So it's a small tools like a POCT.
for the RDT, yes, is a point of care testing resulted in not more than 1 hour.
Okay.
But then the microscopy is the further test that need to be done, and yeah, should be performed during the working hour. Yeah, so then midnight time or during the weekend, the point of care testing will help.
Oh, that's really great. So, Prof. Ernie, can you please share with us, is there any experience where this malaria test save patient's life? For example, maybe this patient comes to you, she has like a fever, high fever, then you as a physician guess whether it's malaria or dengue, since we also have high prevalence in dengue, right? So can you please elaborate more about that? Thank you.
Yes, Intan. So, like I already mentioned, in tropical country like
Mhm.
Indonesia, patient will come with this chip of complaint of fever. So we really need to determine whether this is malaria or not, especially the one that been visited the highly endemic area. So first, of course, the doctors or physicians need to be able to catch whether they need to perform the test. So they need to ask whether they have a travel history. Uh, After that, then they need to perform the point of care testings. But also for dengue, actually, we already have the capacity to diagnose as early as possible by measuring the protein of the virus, what we call MS1. So so this so lab is important and of course can save lives indeed. But the way the physician analyze the patient on what kind of test they need to perform at the first time is also the first importance after the lab that already mentioned.
Yeah, thank you, Professor. That's really interesting, actually, since we are the tropical countries.
Yeah.
So, for example, like malaria, dengue, typhoid, we have lots of high prevalence, right?
Yeah.
And Prof. Ernie, I know that you're not only a physician but also a researcher. Could you please share one of your awesome research project that related with lab result?
Yeah. At the moment, for malaria, again, we are actually conducting several studies, including the malaria vaccine trials. That this is the only trial of vaccine malaria that conducted in Asia. So only performed in Indonesia. So with this, we need to, of course, test the efficacy. So we need to measure the antibody level that induced by the vaccines. So we need, of course, the lab for doing that, and also we need to see the safety of the vaccine by monitoring the routine tests for the CBC, liver function, kidney function test. So these kind of activities need to be supported by a lab result.
Is there any specific besides complete blood count, for example?
For the
vaccine
trial,
efficacy of vaccine, malaria vaccine.
Yeah, vaccine trial will conducting to measure two things. First is the safety, and second is the efficacy. So the safety I already mentioned, but for the efficacy, of course, we need to know during the observation period. We conducting that for in total of 18 months. We monitoring. So how much is actually contacting the disease. So we also measuring the parasite and also the severity of the illness. So we also measuring the one that we already mentioned. So all these initial lab tests that already exist, of course, still important to be performed. But then as an initial to that, then we measuring the antibody level, and then we also measuring the potential protection of the different parasite within the patient, because we know that in Indonesia we have not only one parasite but 4 parasites. So this kind of things need to be supported by the lab result.
So the research only will work on those 4 type of parasites.
Well, at the initial phase of the study, the clinical trial of this vaccine is only performed or effective for falciparum. But the advantage of conducting research in Indonesia is we have the similar proportion between the falciparum and the vivax. So in that case, during the observation, we can also measure how many vivax infection actually occur. So when it's also less than the normal reporting at that area within a different period. For example, the last year in that location, the number of malaria vivax cases is this much, and during the vaccine trial it become lesser. So then we might conclude that this might have an effect on the malaria Vivax, not only falciparum. But the vaccine trial designed only for falciparum.
So when will it be commercially available, especially in Indonesia? Is there any information, update information?
Yeah, we still need to wait because we only unblind the study during the
I
months,
see.
and then in June, hopefully, or July, we will then
This year.
this year we will then see the result. The safety result is already exist, of course, because this is based on the observation, but the efficacy result still need to be reached. Yeah,
Okay.
coming soon.
Okay.
Inshallah.
Okay, thank you so much, Prof. Amy, for your time. I know that you're busy after this, but thank you so much for giving us opportunity and share your experience as physician and also researcher. So thank you so much, everyone, for hearing our talk, and thank you for International Federation of Clinical Chemistry for giving us opportunity to share about how lab result can save life, especially in Indonesia. Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye. Thank
you,
you
Prof.
for
Amy.
having me.